PEGI 18.
Assassin's Creed is really about history and credible world.
We're playing with a history that is, without trying to spoil things, extends back, anywhere from 80 to 100,000 years from today and extends as far into the future as, we have time to make games.
Two specifics about Assassin's Creed. The first one, it's a huge universe spanning across many different mediums with many different characters, events, locations. The second one is the community. The community on Assassin's Creed is extremely knowledgeable about this universe and also has very high expectation about what's coming next in terms of story. So putting all these things together, we realized it was time to fit everything into one reliable source of information.
Actually, it really has been a back and forth process between the Encyclopedia writers and the games writers to make sure that all the content of the book, of the Encyclopedia, is really accurate.
Well, we start by going through all the data, and then we would decide on what articles we wanted to do. And once we had that settled, we would write down a brief description of the article, send it out to the external writers, who would then return the full content to us.
The best part about this project was adding new content. Every time you get a chance to work on a brand like Assassin's Creed, it just makes your day,
We are covering and unveiling a lot of information on characters such as Altair, Ezio, Desmond Miles, Subject 16, but also new assassins such as Shao Jun.
One of the very first challenges was dealing with so much data. Assassin's Creed has been around for a while and has a wealth of information from both the story standpoint within the game universe and just history in general. So going through all of that and figuring out what might be most interesting to put in the encyclopedia was very much the first challenge that I encountered.
The franchise isn't defined necessarily by a single character, it's defined more by these institutions. So we have the option of moving in and out of different historical periods, different geographical locations, different individual important events throughout human history. And so we have a wide variety of options, a lot of different material that we can mine for ideas and stories.
Imagine this project as a huge puzzle with thousands of different pieces involving a lot of different people.
We have tools to track all the narrative threads that we're creating. So we have database, we have Bibles, we have some visual guidelines.
So my main role is to make sure everything fits together.
So what we did was we tried to match specific kinds of content to writers whom we knew or figured would be interested in writing that kind of stuff.
Some of the biggest experts on Assassin's Creed are actually within the community. So when the time came to start writing the encyclopedia, we realized it would be very good to try to seek one writers coming from the community.
So I heard about the job writing for the Encyclopedia on the UB Workshop website, and I thought, well, it's about video games and it's about history, so it seemed perfect for me.
We were really surprised by the reaction. We got hundreds of submissions, and some of them were very, very good.
Well, most of the stuff I wrote was biographies, so of both the characters purely from the games and historical figures behind it.
To make a long story short, instead of hiring one person, we finally hired 5 writers coming from the community.
What I tried to do is dispatch the articles based on some of the test submissions they'd sent in, seeing what they liked to write best, and then we kept it contextually similar.
We try to minimize the risk of bad overlapping and maximize the opportunities of cross-referencing.
As for the design aspect of the encyclopedia, we worked with a local agency called Double Echo. They were crucial to the creative process. For example, during earlier discussions, we decided to only use production concept arts to illustrate the encyclopedia, as opposed to 3D renders or marketing assets.
The role of concept art is very important in the conception of a game. During the early stage of conception, we work on very high-level concepts. So it's about silhouette, a mood, skylines of the city, treatment for the characters, colors.
It's quite remarkable how much of the stuff does have its ties to reality and things that really happened.
And I'm pretty sure that readers will discover some really interesting and new information.
For example, in the Encyclopedia, we're gonna reveal some information about the Templars, among other things, but actually the Encyclopedia is gonna have some spoilers, so if you haven't played the game, just wait to read it.
This encyclopedia is available in Europe in the Animus edition that you can find at retail. For more information, check on assassinscreed.com, and it is also available as a standalone worldwide on ubiworkshop.com.